Another week, boys, and another TWAB. This week at Bungie, Season the Splicer has revealed. If you're the type of player that wants to go into a fresh season of Destiny content with no knowledge of what's to come, hopefully you've been living under a rock for the last 2 days. One of those old-fashioned rocks that don't have internet access. If you haven't seen the trailer or any news about our upcoming season, this is your final spoiler warning. That's right, guys. We covered it the other day. Feel free to check out that video. It's our breakdown, but I will say I got two things majorly wrong. Number one, in the trailer, that was not Spider talking. It was Mithrax. I'm sorry. I heard that hoarse voice and immediately jumped to conclusions and thought it was Spider. And number two, I forgot that Lord of Wolves had a catalyst. You know, it's kind of incredible. I have this unique ability to review a weapon in a Lord of Wolves case with its catalyst at least 10 times and then forget everything about it. So in honor of Lord of Wolves, because I made such a blunder, we will be using Lord of Wolves all weekend long in Trials of Osiris. Now moving on, we did see the roadmap the other day. This is just an overview. Nothing's really changed here, but somebody did point out that the epilogue did not have the Traveler, which I guess there's gonna be what, a live event in August that may result in the Traveler packing up and leaving, or maybe this is a simulation. I have no idea, but that's something I didn't pick up the other day. Overall, guys, the big takeaways for this one: Vault of Glass, May the 22nd will be when that raid releases, and yes, that is a Saturday. Moving on to rewards preview. Loot is the name of the game for many a Guardian, so let's get down to business. We'll be working with the Fallen this season, and we've got new armor pieces to earn. If you've ever wanted to embrace the Splicer lifestyle, this season will be your chance. Oh, look at that. Just sexy. Previously, you would earn this armor by leveling your season rank and unlocking new pieces on the seasonal track. Moving forward, seasonal armor will be earned from seasonal activities. You'll also be able to guarantee pieces from these sets using focus umbral engrams. Season rank levels that once featured armor have been updated with packages of Glimmer, legendary shards, upgrade modules, exotic engrams, enhancement cores, and enhancement prisms. Damn it, I was hoping I was gonna see synth weaves in here. Universal armor ornaments will continue to be earned towards the end of the season pass. Now let's talk tools of destruction. There's still gold to find in them season rank hills. On the seasonal track, there will also be 3 weapons to earn. Season pass owners will unlock the new exotic sidearm on day 1 of the season as soon as they claim their first reward. Additionally, the new shotgun and heavy machine gun will be up for grabs as you level up. Yep, the machine gun will actually be first and then the shotgun. If you want to fully load out of this style, we've got you covered. New weapons will be available through umbral engrams and override completions. The main takeaway, guys, I just want you to pick up. Umbrals are still going to be a thing. Like, I know we established that a season ago. I like umbrals. I like the ability to focus loot, and I'm happy that Bungie is still expanding on the system. Now, outside of overrides, which by the way is that new 6-player activity that's coming, there's even more legendary loot to claim. To start, you'll receive a new quest to earn the Null Composure Fusion Rifle. Once the weapon is unlocked, you can collect Gambit, Crucible, and Vanguard themed weapon ornaments to further customize your style. Ah, fellas, y'all see it? Loaded question 2.0. I'm telling you. There's also weapons joining the current state of the post-game rewards for Gambit, Crucible, and Vanguard strikes. In total, there will be 12 legendary weapons to earn, 4 per activity. Look at that. Looks like escape velocity. Is that Duke? Now, for the in-game focused Guardians out there, 3 familiar weapons will be up for grabs. We have no doubt the Destiny 1 veterans among you will recall these legends in an instant. Like last season, each weapon will be on a weekly rotation in the Nightfall playlist. Upping the difficulty will give you a higher drop chance as you search for desired roles. Starting on June the 22nd, Grandmaster Nightfalls will become available, introducing adept versions of each of these weapons. Holy hell! That's Hung Jury, fellas. Hung Jury! And we're gonna get an adept version of it for my new light players, or maybe just my Destiny 2 players that are like, what the hell is this weapon? Hung Jury was the scout rifle back in PvE inside of Destiny 1. It instantly made you the most hung Guardian on your fire team. The fact that they're bringing back this weapon and they're bringing it back as an adept version with Grandmasters makes me think that a scout rifle buff is on the horizon. And again, for those that are doubting that correlation, we said it with Shadow Price. And lo and behold, Bungie will reward you for grinding the previous season, because coming into next season, even though Shadow Price is going away from the loot pool for a little bit, 450s will be getting a buff though at the beginning of the season. Now, the other 2 weapons, one of them is Light Beware, and I can't even remember off the top of my head how good Light Beware even was. That was a fusion rifle back inside of Destiny 1. The other one is Irene RR4. Now, with Amalon sniper rifles, some people love them and some people hate them. Either way it goes though, guys, I'm very excited about all 3 of these. Now, here's the part where we say, and more. There are still more weapons left for you to discover as you play. Some of the best feelings in Destiny are those moments when you uncover a sweet weapon with the perfect perk combination. Want an auto rifle that gains extra damage after defeating an enemy with a grenade? How about a sniper that's quick on the draw, but can also be rolled with Dragonfly? Every season invites interesting choices and new playstyles. I'm personally amped for a new pulse rifle from the seasonal offering that'll fire quick with just a little kick, so to speak. The team has cooked up some fun new perks this season too, so you'll have some opportunity to mix some flavors that you know with fresh ingredients. We haven't even covered artifact mods yet, which can turn some of these weapons up to 11. 5 days and the hunt for loot begins. See you soon. Alrighty, so we got new perks coming. Big takeaways there. And also the fact that DMG also mentioned what appears to be a rapid fire pulse rifle. Am I getting that right? A pulse rifle that will fire quick with just a little kick. Dude, I'm thinking Clever Dragon. Okay, I'm just saying, fellas, if we actually get Clever Dragon back, dear Lord, baby Jesus. Now, Patchwork. Each season brings opportunities to address long-standing feedback items or even make some back-end changes to prepare for bright futures. Destiny 2 Update 3.2.0 has quite a few bullets in the change list, but we like to highlight a few things that we're pretty excited for. So let's dive in. Abilities, aspects, and fragments. Colorblind support. Stasis abilities now have colorblind support. Okay, that's not where I thought that was going, but yes, for colorblind people, you can now see all of these stasis abilities, which I gotta say must be extra scary, right? Now, subclass tuning. Hunters. The freeze detonation from Silence and Squall has been reduced from 12 meters to now 8.5 meters in radius. Enemy Squall now has a red ring to define area as it approaches. Wow. Woo, hunters are not gonna be happy about that. Titans. Shiver Strike melee energy is now refunded when Glacial Quake ends. Oh, okay. Fix an issue in which players can trigger Whisper of Torment by standing in an opponent's barricade. Warlock. Shadebinder. Bleak Watcher aspect now grants 2 fragment slots. Chaos Reach. Fix an issue with Chaos Reach Super that was allowing it to penetrate some of them walls or objects enough to damage and kill opponents on the other side. Look, fellas, I know I got some folks that are mad about Chaos Reach getting a nerf, most notably PvE players, but that super would straight up wallbang folks. I mean, straight through 12 inches of solid concrete and still kill you on the other side. Now, regarding future tuning plans, we also wanted to pull a word from Sandbox Discipline lead Kevin Yanes. So from Kevin, hey all, this Sandbox team is working on a slew of tuning updates over the next few seasons. We're aware of key points of feedback in PvE and PvP. In update 3.2.0, we have a few minor changes to Stasis Hunters and some bug fixes that you see above. Here's a quick list of some key places we're actively looking at for the future. Stasis Freeze, slow accuracy penalties, and Whisper of Hedrons. We will share more with you soon. Now back to the patch notes preview. All right, so just to kind of come off of what he just said, I know that everyone wants things to be fixed now, and I do see the fact that he stated over the next few seasons. The reality is this, and we're gonna have to talk about it a little more in depth here soon. Stasis overall has just really put everything in a headlock inside of PvP. The fact is there's a lot of people that just don't enjoy being frozen in a player versus player environment. I personally don't see Stasis really being dealt with until the next big expansion comes out. It's the same with Forsaken Supers. Forsaken Supers were really strong. One-Eye Mask, all those things were just super meta. And then the new batch of exotics came out and we started to move away from some of the Forsaken Supers and eventually they were dealt with. As soon as we get outside of the window where Stasis is the driving factor for people buying the expansion, then those supers and subclasses may be dealt with. I know I'm not exactly telling you what you want to hear. I'm just telling you the reality of it. Stasis is probably one of the biggest contributing forces to people buying the expansion. You get killed by a behemoth or a revenant hunter over and over. Next thing you know it, you're buying that juicy expansion. Bungie's been doing this since like Taken King. Now moving on, Nav Mode. Menu that appears when pulling out your ghosts. Separated bounties from quests in the Nav Mode. All bounties now appear in Nav Mode. They can no longer be tracked as a result. Category switching on keyboard and mouse can now be controlled with the scroll wheel. Track Triumph now appears in its own Nav Mode category. Interesting. All right, so these are the changes right here. As you see, you can pull everything up right here. Dude, Bungie is constantly making UI updates. It's almost impossible to keep up with. And don't get me wrong, I like the changes. They're obviously trying to make the game easier to play. I know they're trying to like declutter things. Hopefully we'll like the system. UI, Legends added to the Director's Destination tab. This is where you'll find Vaulted Glass in just a few weeks. Shortcut between HUD quest steps and quest detail screen added for keyboard and mouse users. 6v6 Crucible activities have an updated intro experience. Cycle through your teammates' mechanics to view metrics associated with the activity you're entering. Helm will now appear in the directory's destination tab, move from the tower map, and has its own map. Focus Umbral Engrams and Prismatic Recaster. Umbral Engrams now auto-decrypt when focused via the Prismatic Recaster. Thank God. The visual states for focusing options on the Prismatic Recaster have been streamlined to reduce visual clutter and confusion. Now moving on to Glory, Valor, and Infamy. These changes are a precursor to some large improvements planned for Season 15. For example, introducing Vanguard Reputation, Rebalance, and Infamy to bring reset in line with Valor, and more. We'll have more information on these changes in a few months. Glory, Valor, and Infamy reputations have had their internal systems rebuilt to be a unified implementation. In-game, players should expect minimum perceived changes. So they unified Glory, Valor, and Infamy rank reputation tracking. Before Forsaken, Glory and Valor had only major ranks, Guardian, Brave, etc. After Forsaken, Glory and Valor gained sub-ranks, Brave 1, 2, 3, alongside Infamy. However, all the historical tracking, lifetime ranks, and quest usage still use the original major ranks. Now the sub-ranks are now referred to simply as ranks, and all usage has been converted to use them where appropriate. For example, all lifetime values and quest targets have been multiplied by 3. Glory playlist no longer blocks Valor win streaks from declining. The Valor badge now appears on the Trials launch screen. Infamy win streaks and its bonus is now linear, plus 35 points per win. Glory win streak bonus is now linear, plus 20 points per win. Note, with the eventual update to Vanguard Reputation, players should be ready to spend their Vanguard tokens during Season of the Splicer. You know, it's very interesting that Bungie's making this change and it's rolling out in Season 15, which is a season away from now. But the more and more I look at this, especially seeing that the bonus there to the win streaks are linear, makes me think Bungie might actually give us pinnacle weapons again, or in the least, like true rituals. I don't know. We'll see. I'd say there's some pretty good incentives to still play in those playlists, except for maybe Glory. Like, Glory is still one of those, it's like, why? Why even go in there and suffer through survival outside of just leveling up at the beginning of a season? Now, Eververse archive filtering. Players can now easily filter the offerings in the storefront archive tab. Per numerous community requests, we added many exotic weapon and armor ornaments from previous seasons to the archive tab. All right, listen, I know we said we're not going to buy anything from Eververse, okay? I'm not saying I'm excited about this. I'm just simply stating that I've been wanting to buy some of the old ornaments from a very long time ago that were never available again. Now, Bright Engrams, Spawn FX, and shaders are now standalone items in Bright Engrams. Bright Engrams can no longer decrypt into duplicates of these items. A small amount of Glimmer will be awarded when decrypting Bright Engrams. Now, general things, Momentum Control and Team Scorch have returned and will be available as part of the weekly playlist rotation. We've also added repeatable bounties to Shaw Han and the Cosmodrome. Let's go! Also fixed an issue causing vaulted gear to erroneously drop from the Strike Unique Loot list. Added full suites of trace rifle focused armor mods to the game. Oh, thank God, because there are a lot of mods. I know everyone thinks that scavenger mods for auto rifle works with trace rifles. No, it does not. It doesn't. We've got true trace rifle focused armor mods coming to the game, which makes me think there's going to be a new trace rifle. Surely Vex Mythoclast isn't going to be a trace rifle, right? Well, I guess it kind of is. It's like an auto rifle and a fusion rifle had a baby, which I guess is a trace rifle. Now, patch notes are planned to drop in full around 10 a.m. Pacific next Tuesday, right alongside the release of Season of the Splicer. Now, before we go, while the following won't happen in update 3.2.0, we have some news concerning the 2018 and 2019 Solstice of Hero armor glows. In the April 22nd TWAB article, it was stated that glows for these armor sets would not be supported by armor synthesis due to technical issues. Since the new 2020 ornament mechanics were well received, we were able to rework and rebuild how the 2018 and 2019 glows work to address the community's requests. Our current plan is to make these glows into universal ornament sets like the 2020 Solstice of Hero universal armor ornaments. This fix will have some limitations. These ornaments will not be updated to support stasis, but will support solar, arc, or void subclasses. In addition, the granted ornaments will be for the legendary armor set from each year only. Players who acquired any subclass type glow for that year slot will receive the corresponding legendary universal ornament for all 3 classes. We are hoping to have this fix deployed by Solstice of Heroes 2021, but we cannot guarantee the date. Stay tuned to the future TWABs for additional information. Yeah, there were some people upset about that. Looks looks like they're working on it, but nothing else has been walked back on Transmog. Now, as a final note here from DMG, that's it. You arrived at the end of the TWAB. Few thousand words of fun, but every show must come to an end. This week was a wonderful opportunity to show off some shiny new toys, but the real fun will kick off next Tuesday. The team will be watching as players embark on a new journey of discovery. While I said that earning new loot can be one of the best feelings in Destiny, I don't think there's anything more satisfying for us on the development side than seeing content finally get into your hands. New story, new lore, new loot, and hopefully some new friendships to make along the way. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon. This time next week, I'll be wearing some fancy new clothes as I start to prep for Vault of Glass. Cheers, DMG. All right, guys, that is your final TWAB for Season the Chosen. Loot is looking good. All right, if there's one thing we could say starting with Season the Chosen into this season, Bungie has definitely upped the loot game. That was our biggest complaint with Beyond Light. Say what we want to say about Season the Chosen, from the Presage mission to the rollout of the content for this season to the loot. Honestly, overall, I would 100% take another season like Season the Chosen. If this new 6-player activity rolls out on the level of Menagerie, and if Bungie could eventually give us some new maps for Gambit and Crucible, by God, I would be a happy Guardian. Also, if you're new to this channel, if you're just tuning in for the TWAB for the very first time, we cover these every single week. Feel free to subscribe, hang out with us. We'll be live all next week long, discovering all this new sexy loot with you. So please join us. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.